All right, good morning, everybody. All right, a little bit of a late start here, but we're good. All right, so yesterday I'm starting with SMHs here. We'll get to everything else, and I got to look at the option stuff. We expected pretty much an hour range day, and that's what we got yesterday. And so everybody's waiting for inflation data tomorrow, and then the jobless on Thursday. So things are up here a little bit. Um, Nothing of great significance. I'm just looking at my other charts. Yeah, not a big deal. I'm wondering, we'll look at different things. I'm wondering, of course, you wonder because you don't know until it is. Maybe we get a 1, 2, 3, 4, and of course, we're waiting for the data. But anyway, so semiconductors regained the 200 MA, somewhat of a positive, of course. Um, it's in an area of support. Doesn't always have to come all the way down to the pivot. Maybe it holds here and it starts a bottoming process, or, it wouldn't be an ideal 1, 2, 3, 4, meaning why not? Would, of course, the question. So doesn't mean it wouldn't work. It just means the first one is the one that works with the highest probability, meaning the wide range bar starts from a consolidation and then you get the inside bar. And this isn't a textbook one, but you get the idea. Wide range bar. Um, it attempts to go up. It can't. The third bar makes a second attempt. And by definition, and I'll cover some of this in the coaching session tonight, the third bar takes out the high of the two bar, and then you get the follow through. So while it's not exact, common sense says it's right, close enough for government work, right? So yesterday we got the consolidation day. We'll see how far things get today. Question, can it close deep into the red bar? Does it stay down here? Does it close with a topping tail? On and on and on. And all of that talk on and on is to suggest that we really don't have a pattern right now that's actionable. Unless you wanted to, short it under the low and think, okay, this 1, 2 would trigger and it'll go down here. So that's certainly a consideration, but it wouldn't be the ideal scenario because it would be the second one. Right? All right, let's take a look at other markets. Let me get to SPY. So that gapped up about halfway and it started to roll over. I did the video yesterday afternoon where prices were up there at this minor resistance area and it had started to roll over. And at that time, I was talking, well, does it go all the way back down to the low? Does it turn into a topping tail bar? And basically, it went nowhere and stayed in the middle of yesterday's range and just flip flopped around. So a decent close into a wide range bar, but not actionable. What would you do with this as a swing trader? Nothing I know of. So just an inside day, waiting, normal back and forth after, a relatively large move. So where is it now? Gapping above yesterday's high and gapping relatively well into this red bar. And you can see on the 15-minute chart, and of course on the 65-minute, you can see it gapping above those highs. And the next area of resistance is close by. I'm just looking at whole numbers. 550 looks doable. I mean, it's only a couple of points away, not a big deal. And, how do you get on board without some type of corrective pattern or not? So we're still within, a trading range. Let's just call it top of the range, bottom of the range, middle of the range. Look how close I got that without any kind of fib tools or measuring devices or protractors or whatever. Anyway, middle of the range there, gapping up. Could go up, could stay in here. Could. What do I do? As an intraday trader, I think setup, we could definitely trade that if we were to get some kind of a setup on a 5-minute chart. But, right now we just have a pattern here that is kind of like nowhere land, so to speak. This came down hard. It's stabilizing. So basically, as swing trades, we wait. Nothing has been changed as far as the weekly time frame, other than now that we'd have a trading range and it's in the bottom of the wide range bar. Let's look at SPX. The options are here. We know this is gapping up a bit. Yesterday, I said down here was a no-brainer, and it was. Okay, let's see what we have here. What changed? And I said I always look for about $1 to start with and see where that puts us, 55.45. How quickly the sentiment changes. Amazing. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, we see it all the time when volatility increases. People start betting for some kind of extreme moves. But as bearish as it was yesterday with the put strike so low, uh, you know, now today the call strike goes up, not a crazy amount, but high enough there to think that it won't get there. 410. Now, would it get down there? I think that's more likely. So this is our starting points every day, and then we see which way prices move in one direction or the other to evaluate probabilities with more information. Um, so always looking to the left there, those topping tails are lined up with those pivots. We say, what's our line of defense? And the low of that bar down there, and you can see pivot low, not as significant a reference point of support down below, comparing this little reversal with this group of pivot highs up there. All right. Let's peek at interest rates, what they're doing, continuing to drop. Right? They're going to cut. And you have to, enjoy the conversation as to a quarter or a half, and their opinion. Oh, if it's a half, that's a bad sign. But of course, the markets I think would like that. But where do you go from there? Wait and see what happens. But it probably could spark some kind of a rally. And anyway, that's moving down. And there's been a lot of talk about the or uninversion of the 2 and the 10, and that was an interesting chart. If you saw it on Fox News in the middle of the day yesterday, they showed a history going back quite a distance, and it showed where there was an inversion, and every time it uninverted, it led to a recession. And so there are plenty of signs out there that to suggest that that's possible, and because everybody wants to know when it's actually a fact based on what whatever measure they're going to come up with. Remember the last time they had the 2 quarters of negative GDP? They said, "Oh, wait a minute, it's not really a recession." They kind of flip flopped on that, but so that whenever we see a chart where historically it shows what happened, it provides some insight as to the possibilities as to what might happen now or in the future. And so I thought that was, a valuable piece of information that they shared. Right? Well, not really. You kind of a crystal ball, you could say. I mean, no one really has a crystal ball, but when you see something that, just like, hey, this is a sell setup at resistance with declining moving averages, and historically that results in a move lower, and that's all we're looking for. It was like, what are the odds of this happening versus that? So, and we don't know until we know. So if we knew, we wouldn't need any money management strategy. We would just max out, our credit cards and buy put options or call options and, make a gazillion dollars. But that isn't the way it is, right? So we look at how many things come together at one time that increases the probability of something happening. That's about it. Mm. All right. So stabilization yesterday. Things are up here a little bit. Um, you can see the 65-minute just peaking a little bit above that pivot high. There is a void to go up. So look, the uncertainty comes tomorrow with the news. Today could be, hey, go for it. That you don't have that news until tomorrow. But let's see if we get a setup. Maybe it continues to go up. There it has room. And this pivot already tested this minor resistance and then pulled back. And we see the buyers that step up here, that little candle bodies. And so even though this is moving down, maybe it can get a little further into that red bar. And so this bringing up the rear versus the S&Ps already having moved up. Will the debate move the market tomorrow? Who knows? Now you really want me to shine the crystal ball, Robert. I don't know. It's getting interesting. From my own point of view, I can't imagine how anybody would vote for that woman, um, especially after what we've been through for 4 years and, all the things that occurred and we know about. But hey, people have opinions. All right. So very potent reversal bar on the futures, starting down there and getting all the way back up. But overall, what a mess. What a mess. And let's look at it in a day chart. This one had the biggest gap up and it was able to get up, toward those pivots. And so maybe this consolidate, just consolidation while we wait for whatever news that the market wants. Do you see a reverse crash in generational discount stores versus Walmart? Well, a reverse crash. I'm not sure what that means, a reverse crash. I think if we look at like Dollar General, it crashed, right? That's a crash. Now, you know, if people are, and there was another interesting chart on Fox News. I don't want to go too long here, but we see the markets aren't doing too much, so I'll talk and then hand it over to Dan. They had a very interesting chart, and they showed where the pandemic started and the trend of I don't know if it was Dollar General, maybe it was, and Ferrari. And they talked and they showed how Dollar General was going down and the price of the stock of Ferrari was going up. And they talked about, the government was giving away so much money that people didn't go to work and that money's run out. Now they don't have jobs or they lost jobs or whatever. They can't even go to Dollar General to buy, whereas people that have money to buy a Ferrari, whether they got money or didn't get money, it didn't matter. So they're continuing to buy. But the public, and this was more in alignment with their chart of a recession coming. So yeah, I mean, obviously this is a really ugly chart. And Walmart is going up. So while people are, it's kind of like it raises more questions. If Walmart is a discount store and the price is going up, I think some people say, well, people with money now are buying at Walmart because things are so bad. I don't know. Um, Meanwhile, Dollar General is going down. So how do you relate the two, which are both some kind of a discount store? Anyway, IWM didn't do too much yesterday. Clearly, the one with relative weakness, and I mean, it's gapping up a minimal amount, which raises the question as to what was doing poorly yesterday. So that didn't do much of anything, and so maybe just things didn't really move much. Um, that didn't move much. Uh, so again, yesterday was just a back and fill kind of a day. Maybe today is going to turn out to be the same. Maybe get up there a little bit. Things are a little higher this morning, and we'll take it from there. All yours, Dan.
Good morning.
Sounds like two mics, Dan.
Test. Testing. 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 All right. Test. Test. Testing. I know, Alex. I know. I'm just trying to limp through this so I can diagnose it in an hour. But it's all right. Nothing I can do about it now. All right. So anyway, look at this 15-minute buy setup. BLMZ looks great. Alarms. GLD. We're in. Up alarm. PDD alarm go off. Been watching this for a while. So Alex, remember the first time Thursday you were saying it was a double bottom? I'm like, well, it's not a W bottom yet. You need a couple more bars for the W to form. So now it's better. My up alarm went off. So let's keep an eye on that. I know you mentioned Okta. There's a couple of these that are just been steady, nasty selling, but there's zero reversal yet. Here's another one, Burke. Look at this, they're almost identical. But I'm gonna watch them both. There's no well, yesterday, closed at the high. Now it looks like a directional. Um, superior to trading the broader markets with no pattern. This is fantastic. Greater than 100% retracement, sideways 3 weeks, closing breakout, price void. Looks great. Those are all the alarms I had go off. These are earnings. Wow, look at Oracle gapping to all-time high. We gave a short put trade to our ETF, not to our advisory letter, selling the naked 125s yesterday. And that's, I just said move stop to yesterday's low and let it expire at full profit. I actually did a condor on top, not a condor, a short strangle. I also shorted some additional puts, and I did the 157.5 calls, so that's going to be under a little pressure, but still over $4 away. Yeah, Home Depot, we bought the stock and did a put spread. This is what we call a buy setup with a 4-bar term. So it's actually better today than it was yesterday. But yeah, looks great. Looks great to add. Yeah, it's on my list right here. ADI, we actually had a call spread that we stopped out yesterday at a profit. This one's sloppier, but 30-minute high. And it could be a put spread for Friday. A Billy alarm just went off. YouTube asked about that. Billy. So it's a buy setup after a breakout. You know, I kind of like Home Depot and Duolingo better. You're gonna have trouble over here, but yeah, patterns there. It's that major resistance on the 15. I would recommend waiting a little bit. And 15, I always like 30-minute. I like when new trades, new swing trades trigger because you just have more confidence that the pattern suggested now is gonna hold. Stephen, let's say I got in last night. Well, first of all, you got to tell me what type of trade it is to you. Should I set a tight stop for a gap fill? I'm not sure what you mean, a tight stop for a gap fill. What does that mean? I mean, it looks great. Semis are bouncing. I said yesterday over this red bar. Well, I have no idea if it will, Stephen. But what I can tell you is it's a very bullish pre-market chart. It's the wide range breakout. So I don't, you know, if it does fill the gap, that might be the place to enter. So it just depends how tight you want to manage it. And I would say put it in a 5-minute window, monitor it with the sector and the cues at the open, and then we'll have more information. All right, other earnings here. Red Bird down 30. I don't know, no pattern will come back. This one I tried selling puts and I did not get filled. I was 17.5 put spread. I sent it at midpoint, but didn't get filled. Buy on a pullback, target 27.28. AVO gapping on. Wow, wow. It's a monster gap. So gap's too big. Run, it was in the weekend letter. We shorted the 357.5, $5 wide. This one is a big old mess. But if it takes out yesterday's low, it looks lower and then it would give up the gap. So let's set an alarm at 51. 52. I'll set an alarm. That's $1.70 away. Shouldn't do that. That's it. The earnings. Oh, there's nothing. Back to Oracle. It's a pro gap. It's an igniting gap from kind of a inverse head and shoulders looking thing, but it's an excessive gap. So remember Greg's gap trading course, the seven steps to quality gaps. It's excessive. for risk to reward with no pattern. Let's say it was gapping a 145 over these bars highs, but at resistance. It's still a shock pattern over two red bars, hovering with all-time highs. I would say 10-minute high if it was gapping here. But not, I don't have a bias with it now. All right, there's Home Depot. The bullish gap, but no good pattern. Octa we talked about. Yeah, Alex mentioned JP Morgan. That's a buy setup. That's a buy setup with a 180 reversal gapping up. So that's a watch on a pullback. And JP Morgan, I read in the journal this morning that there was, oh, that's JP Morgan. WFC. All right, JP AB test. JP Morgan is better. AB test, stronger. High alarm or long the stop. I'll just set new alarms. Set it at 117.20. And 118.30. Daddy alarm. Oh no. Yeah, go daddy alarm. All right, so this is a, it's working on the turn. It's a buy setup that fell from a rock. So we would never expect a new high. But this is a 30-minute high candidate. Look at this Blum Z. I mentioned the 15-minute chart. Look at that. So that worked perfectly using the pre-market data. Duolingo. Let's buy a half lot here. The stop. A Berg low alarm. Wow, that thing keeps selling up. Snag it doesn't want to open. Wonderful. I do it on the other computer. I told Greg, I've just been procrastinating. Like, trying to feel like that thing's locking up here. On. Duolingo. Uh, Tan low alarm. Good. We shorted that yesterday. Oh, what John LBS. Set an alarm yesterday's high. I'll set it at 40 spot 11. There. Diamonds and spiders, diamonds and IWM are back to their old tricks on the 5-minute chart of synchronized swimming. Look at those two ugly red 5-minute bars. Set an alarm tone. And nice weakness. That's a head and shoulders breakdown with a smaller right shoulder. But, we trade it the same, right? And granted, I would have liked a bigger right shoulder because then it's more resistance, but Goldman low alarm. Oracle. So, hey, Greg, just for your, edification. Oh,
What do you
no.
say?
No, never mind. I was looking at old quotes. All right. It's fine like this. I'm trying to close this Oracle short calls. I was gonna pay the offer, but the spreads are ludicrous. 50 cents by $3. Ludicrous spreads.
Especially for a stock like that.
What?
Especially for a stock like that.
No, exactly. It's just the market maker screwing you royally.
He probably has a car payment due and he figures, hey, let's give you help pay for some of it.
Mhm. Yeah, Bowen's tough to trade. Like JP Morgan came in hard. 30-minute high. I like it. PDD, I'll just set a new alarm and not worry about it. Gap down, turn negative. $18.30. All right, this one video, Stephen, you asked about. Yeah, see, now you got a topping tail. See, I would be out now because you got a topping tail and it's breaking the support. I and the Qs were breakout failure too. So I use the pre-market data as part of my management in the open. So yeah, I'd be out now and not sit through a pullback. Oh, wow, we had this as a call spread in the weekend letter, which I purposely did not cancel. But I got confused. This was in the weekend letter. So that's relative weakness to those other banks. Look at Lyft, new low alarm. Yeah, that's an ad. That's an ad. Looks great. Duolingo coming in for the gap, maintain Okta alarm. That's just Steady selling. That is so controlled. But I've had up and CCI up alarm, nice. Now we can, let's see, what's our basis? $146.
Hmm.
Slow down a little, see what's going on with all these audio settings, but I'm on talking and listening on the laptop right now. Depot, up alarm. Nothing to do now, but 30-minute high. I like, let's let the markets simmer down. Got this Zoom. Go to the Zoom website and log in to get those settings.
No, Dan, just click on the bottom where your little microphone thing is, that little up arrow, and go in, click it, and then on the click audio settings.
Right. Yeah, no, it was on low because of the reformat. All right, moved it to high. Yeah, ANS trying to make the turn. I'd like it better if it had a bottoming tail, but sure, let's put it on the list. And I bought the 130 puts to hedge my short puts in Oracle to give me a free put spread. Need a penny, so I got those hedged. Don't have to worry about it. It came down sloppy, but I like that. Hey, the 15's pseudo inverse head and shoulders there, Sam. So it's 9:45. And Greg, my icon tray in the bottom of my laptop just turned yellow.
Turned yellow, Dan.
Run stuff.
You have your Yeti plugged in because your doesn't sound that clear.
No, I told you I'm on the laptop because I had all these echo sounds. I couldn't turn off the mic on the laptop. KLG alarm. I had an early alarm, but this could be a nice 30-minute high. All right, Bloom Z came in. I don't need that anymore. Well, not a big target, but little day trade there. I had it as a swing watch too. It was a 1, 2, 3. Yeah, yeah, maybe a closing breakout. It closes like this.